So I'm up here on Heartbreak Ridge. As you can see, the Sani Pass road is now tarred all the way to the South African border. And I lived here for 5 years on this property. It's called Mkomazana Mountain Cottages now. It's owned by my family. I had a recording studio here. I lived here with Wendy, my wife. And every afternoon, late afternoon, I would come up onto this ridge with my Pyrenean mountain dog Cadillac. And in 2003, we threw the ashes off this ridge. The ashes of my dear friend Colin Burt, who a lot of you will remember. Colin, there's his plaque. We put his plaque up under the ridge there. And every afternoon I'd come up here with my dog, beautiful Cadillac, Pyrenean. What a beautiful dog she was. And I'd come and I'd sit here and I'd look up into the pass. But when I arrived here, I would sit down there on those rocks over there and I would turn around immediately and I'd say, "How's it, Cole? You okay, my bud? Love you." And so it is. We threw his ashes off this ridge, me and Chris McPherson, who's also gone. Wendy, Colin's sister Linda, who died this year of lung cancer, and the other sister Susan, who lives in New Zealand. We threw Colin's ashes off this ridge. Chris McPherson, who many of you will remember, he held onto my belt and I leaned right over the ridge and threw his ashes, and guess what? His ashes went flying up the pass. Instead of sinking down, they went up, sailing up the pass. And I said to everyone, well, you know, it's Colin's ashes. They're going to end up in some farmer's nose, making him sneeze, and what do you expect? So, dear Colin, we said our final goodbyes to you here on what was known and has always been known as Heartbreak Ridge. So that's my story for today. I'm up here for the weekend. Cheers, Cole. Stay well, my bud. Till next time. Bye. Up on Heartbreak Ridge, you'd send me if I sprang a leak. You would mend me. I don't have to speak, 'cause you defend me. And I don't know the rest of the song, but isn't this beautiful? Colin used to run this property. That's why we threw his ashes off the ridge. Of course, what I didn't mention was that in those days, from 1999 till about 2004, Wendy and we leased this property from my brothers. We ran a backpackers here. And I had my studio here, and her and I supervised the building of these dams. My brothers financed it, of course, but we supervised the building. There's one big dam there, and there's one in the middle behind the buildings, and it flows into another one down there. In those trees over there is the main house, the holiday home that my brothers use, and then that flows back into the Mkomazana River from those dams. So yeah, that's the story. So we left quite late, but this is now the Sani Pass these days, people. 5:15 we left. The Sani Pass is now tarred. all the way to the South African border post. So this is what it looks like. I'm trying to capture some of the, it's got a barrier all the way down too, all the way up. So all these corners that used to be so onerous are now like a bloody highway. Look at this, like a highway. Look at that. Coming back down is going to be something else, because you have to now learn to slow down. I wonder if the cyclists and the runners are going to love this. They will. I'm going to try and find a view site. It's late afternoon and we've just stopped at one of the view sites that's looking up the pass. We've lost a bit of our light. There's the Mkomazana River. Start of the Mkomazana River actually. And there, down there, and there's Mkomazana in the, you can see the buildings there, in those trees in the distance. That's the property. And in fact, in this one you can see the main house very well there. That's where I'm staying, in the main house there. This is the last stretch towards the bottom. Just do a little video, show you how the construction is. And these enormous big retaining walls that they've built all the way up here and there. Just look at that. There's the river. This is the pass. This is what it's become. This area that leads to the pool behind the main house at Mkomazana is absolutely spectacular. It's like a fairyland, especially in the early morning light like this. It's just too beautiful. I'm gonna see if I can get it. The ground is completely covered in moss, and these beautiful old oak trees, they must be 200 years old, if not more. And it's just like a fairyland in here. There's a little area there where you can make a bonfire. There are little stairs that go up into the up to the ridge. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? This area is just truly amazing. These trees are just absolutely magnificent. We've just been hugging the one. I always hug that one tree when I come here. This is such a beautiful property. Such a beautiful property. And steeped in history. You can just feel it everywhere. Everywhere. Too much. There's the main house and one of the cottages off the main house. This house is only used by the owners, my brothers. And look at those beautiful tree ferns there. 4 of them standing in a row. And this lovely tree here. And we're just heading down to the to this lower dam. This is the path down to the last of the dams. This is the dam below the main house. Okay, here's the lower dam, and there are the 12 apostles in the distance, and on the left is the pass. And there you can just see the cottage that Wendy and I built right on the dam. And I'm just going to walk around the wall and get some clearer shots. There it is there. It's now called Coot Cottage, and it's one of the most popular of the accommodation offerings. If you ever do live in paradise like I did, make sure you don't take it for granted. This is the most spectacular part of the world. It's unbelievably beautiful.